So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys 10 different cable exercises that you can do for your chest. So this includes, targeting your upper and your lower chest, as well as, the entire chest in general. So you wanna, spice up your chest workouts using these exercises. They're not supposed to be done as a full workout, so don't do all 10 together. So you might wanna take maybe 2 or 3 of them and then substitute with other exercises that you usually do on your chest workout day. You wanna hit your upper chest or your lower chest more than usual, or you just wanna target your chest in general using the cable machine. Let me show you guys some of my favorite cable exercises for hitting those pectoral muscles. Let's go.
One thing that you got to keep in mind about chest exercises is that they tend to make use of the anterior deltoids or the front shoulders a lot. Some use it a lot more than others, but that's okay. So don't be alarmed if you're feeling a lot of these exercises in that area as well. Cable machine chest workouts are perfect for really isolating different sections of your chest for individual growth after getting through those main compound exercises like chest presses and whatnot. Personally, I like to aim for 3 sets with these kinds of exercises and go for high rep counts within the range of 10 to 15. I also like working with low weight loads for most of these to really get the full benefit from maintaining a solid form throughout. Also, with every single one of these, make sure that your back is straight throughout, tense your core, and breathe out as you push. Then slowly return to the starting position as you breathe back in. I'll kick things off with some standing variations, and then we'll go from there. So first up, we've got the neutral cable chest flies. Now, this is probably one of the most common cable chest workouts that you'll see around. It's great for targeting your entire pectoral region from the major all the way down to the minor. To set it up, you have to lower both pulleys to shoulder height or a little above. Then you step forward with one foot enough to create some tension from just holding onto the cables. After that, you got to hold your chest up high, keep your back straight, and then start with a slight bend in your elbows and then push with power from your chest as you hold your position throughout. It's important to remember to push out with force and slowly return to the starting position. Holding at the highest point of contraction is also a great tip for maximizing this workout. Next up is a more intense variation of the neutral cable chest flies. With this one though, there's a lot more contraction of the chest, so if you're looking to level up your neutral cable flies, this is a great option to consider. It's still great for targeting your entire chest region as well, with a little bit more focus on getting a proper squeeze at the center of the chest. To set it up, you have to lower both pulleys to shoulder height or a little above, just like the first one. Then you step forward with one foot enough to create some tension again. Next, you want to hold your chest up high, keep your back straight. Always start with a slight bend in your elbows, but this time there should be a bit more of a bend. Finally, go ahead and push with power from your chest as you hold your position throughout. Again, do not forget to push out with force and slowly return back to the starting position, and holding at the highest point of contraction is awesome for getting the maximum benefit from this. Those last 2 tips will apply to the rest of the exercises that I'll go over in this video, so keep that in mind. The next standing variation moves the focus to the minor or the lower pecs. You might notice that you're able to handle a bit more weight load with this than the first 2 because of how it's performed. It's always a great addition to any chest day since the lower chest tends to be undertrained a lot of the time. To set this one up, raise both pulleys to a high enough point to create a little tension at the starting position. Then you want to step forward with one foot, lean forward slightly while maintaining a straight back and starting with a slight bend in your elbows. Finally, you want to go ahead and push with power from a high point to a low point while holding your position throughout. This one is a must try if you're looking to develop your lower chest. Next one here shifts focus in the opposite direction towards the upper chest region. With this one, you'll notice that you're able to handle the least amount of weight in comparison to others. And this again is because of how it's performed. It's a great upper chest workout that also trains the front deltoids heavily. To set it up, you have to lower both pulleys to the lowest point on the machine. Then you want to step forward with one foot, hold your head and your chest up high while maintaining a straight back and a slight bend in your elbows all the way through. With this one, make sure to hold both cables with your palms facing out throughout. And finally, you want to make sure that you're lifting from a wide point at the bottom up to a close point for contraction up to your shoulder height. Lift with power and lower slowly as you resist that weight load. For our next variations, we're going to be introducing the bench. First up here, we're going to talk about seated crossovers, and this is just as intense as the standing crossovers we went over earlier. This time though, there's a bench to help keep your back and your feet locked in place while making the chest isolation even better. The crisscross motion also allows for the most squeeze you can get out of cable chest flies. Just make sure you're alternating each time. If you prefer training with a bench or just want to try something different, this is a great choice to try for sure. It targets your entire chest region just like the first one as well. To set it up, you have to grab a bench, set it to the highest point, and then you move both pulleys to shoulder height or a little above when seated at the bench. Make sure there's a little tension at the starting position before doing anything at all. To adjust tension, you can move the bench forward or backward. Next, you want to hold your chest up high, keep your back straight as usual, and then start with a bend in your elbows as you push with power from your chest and hold the same position throughout. Our next bench variation here will shift focus to the upper chest region again, so definitely expect to work with lesser weight loads than most other variations. Using the bench helps in keeping the focus solely on the upper chest without the common stability issues that may arise from working with standing variations. To set it up, you have to lower both pulleys to the lowest point on the machine, and then you set the bench up so your upper chest is in line with the pulley's movement path. Make sure to use a slight incline between 15 and 30 degrees. Anything higher than 30 will shift focus towards your front delts too much. Next, you want to lay down flat, keep your back straight, start with a slight bend in your elbows, and then go ahead and push with power from your chest as you hold the same position all the way. Decline crossovers are a hidden gem for targeting the lower chest that I never see anyone do. Honestly, it's one of the most effective exercises that I've found for blowing up the pec muscles. The crossover motion from this workout alone is one I can guarantee that you'll feel all over your chest. Again, do not forget to alternate crossover hands each time. For this one, you want to use the same starting position as the incline variation, but you set your bench to the lowest point instead. Lay flat on the bench, maintain a straight back as always, start with a similar elbow bend as other crossover variations we've talked about, and then push with power from your chest as you maintain the same position throughout. Finally, we're going to check out some kneeling variations. First up, we're going to talk about the high to low kneeling flies. Now, this is pretty similar to the standing crossover counterpart with only two differences. One being there's a lot more tension to handle since you're kneeling, and two, there's not any crossover motion at the bottom. The job of this workout is still to build the lower chest, and it does a phenomenal job at doing that. To set this up, raise both pulleys to a high enough point to create tension at the starting position. Then you want to kneel slightly beyond the cables and then lean forward slightly while keeping a straight back. Next, you want to start with a bend in your elbows as you push with power from a high to a low point while holding your position all the way. The alternating low to high kneeling fly is perfect for pulling focus to the upper chest. Now, just like with a lot of upper chest exercises, this will recruit and work your anterior deltoids a lot. So to avoid overtraining and muscle fatigue, make sure not to train your shoulders the day after severely training your upper chest with exercises like this. To set this up, you want to lower both pulleys to the lowest point on the machine. Then you kneel a little bit in front of the cables while keeping a straight back, holding your head and chest up high, and maintaining the same slight bend in your elbows all the way. This is an alternating exercise, so make sure to complete the specified amount of reps for both sides. With this also, you want to make sure to hold both cables with both palms facing outward all the way, and make sure that you're lifting from a wide point at the bottom up to a close point for contraction at about shoulder height. Keep one arm suspended up at your shoulder height as you lift the other up to the same point before lowering. Now, I've saved the bent over crossovers for last since it's one a lot of people probably haven't seen or tried. It's pretty unique in how it's done, but it does an immaculate job of firing up the entire chest region and also building it. To set it up, you have to raise both pulleys to a high enough point to create tension in the starting bent over position. Then you want to bend over till your body is almost in line with the ground. Make sure that the cable movement path is also in line with your chest, so step back just a bit before bending over. Keep your back straight throughout, tense your core, and then breathe out as you push and cross over. Then you want to slowly return to the starting position as you breathe back in. So there you have it. That's 10 new variations for you to change things up at your next chest day workouts, or even just start shifting focus towards a specific section of your chest that you think might be underdeveloped or maybe needing some work. Anyway, that's it for me on this one. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in my next video. You already know who it is. It's Tommy, and I'm out, y'all.